Hello, Storytime tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play, what's it called? Lobotomy Corporation, that weird indie game with monster-based survival simulator. Somewhat roguelike, somewhat simulator. We haven't really seen the roguelike element yet, but, like, just keep in mind that if we ever get into a bad situation, we can reset and go back to the very beginning and try to pick out different creatures, but we keep all of our armor, we keep all the information on the monsters and any upgrades. Like we've picked up what is it? We can see HP, we can play at double speed. Like all of these kind of upgrades, they would stick with us if we reset and went back to day one. So it is kind of a roguelike in that sense. Also, I forgot to even show these here. This is one of those screens that's easy to forget about. Control team. If you have office workers, you get different amounts of movement speed. That's why we try to keep them alive if you want to. And there is a mechanic where if you keep working in the same department for I don't know the actual amount of time, but some number of days consecutively, maybe just 1 day, 2 days, 3 days in a row, maybe, might be something else, then they also get personally a bonus. This is all employees if the office workers are alive. This is just those staff who have been here for a while. So every department will have some kind of bonus like that. Information gives us success rate, which is, 5% success rate is nice, and 5 movement speed is nice just for everybody flat. And then if you work here longer, your temperance actually goes up by a bit. I think temperance is not like +7 to the base stat, but +7, it'll be +7 to your work speed and success rate. So the information team does get some benefits for difficult monsters, because you get some extra chance to succeed kind of thing. To be honest, I am a little bit experienced rides. If I was playing blind, more people would have died for sure. And also if I didn't reset every now and then. Resetting the day helps keep people alive. It just takes longer. But because I sort of know what I'm doing, I'm being a little bit more careful. But it's going to get harder to the point where I'm seeing monsters I've never seen before. And even if I know what I need to do, doesn't mean we can do it. So people will die a lot more once we get to the mid-game. The mid-game starts, we've done 2 sections, sections 3 and 4, and then once we get past that, then we're kind of into the real game. Although somewhere around the next few monsters, we could get some hard stuff. What else was I going to say? In between episodes, we didn't change any stats. We're going to save up a few more lobotomy points, and then we'll recruit one more person next time. And yeah, I think everyone's looking forward to the more dangerous stuff. I tried early on to pick some of the more dangerous monsters. I didn't pick any Zaans, although I don't know them all by heart. But like I was trying to get it ramped up, but I didn't see any, when we were picking these 3 out, I didn't see anything that was definitely a heh tier. So I didn't really have an option of anything super scary just yet, other than a frustrating monsters. Before we actually get to the day, and we'll do this day fairly quickly because there's no new abnormality. It's a fairly simple mission. It'll be a fairly quick day, and I'm not going to farm stats for too long. Speaking of which, I'm actually going to move Jelka down because we'll be able to train up stats better down here. These are kind of better trainers for the most part than the guys up there. So we'll send more people down into the sort of A team. I want to quickly do the stories, because the stories are really cool, and I keep forgetting to read them. And I got to get used to, once we've learned an abnormality, I want to just read their story right away so I don't forget. So, tree story. Grave of Cherry Blossoms. A tree standing in the middle of a containment chamber. It never withers, even if it is not given any nutrients. Although sometimes we give it nutrients. Some employees take rest next to this tree. Forever. Pansy. Did you see this new abnormality? I think you're in charge of it. Yeah, I saw it. It was just a tree with some buds along the branches. I don't think they're going to bloom without sunlight. Did you start the observation? Nah, I'll get to it now. Okay. Hey, long time no see. How's it going? Hey, listen. That abnormality we talked about before, I don't think it's hostile. Its buds are starting to bloom. Strange looking at them. Feels like spring has come for the first time in this place. Oh, is that okay? Usually any kind of change is a bad omen or something catastrophic gonna happen. No, it's just some flowers. But thanks. Thanks for worrying about me. Hey again, how's the work going? Well, the flowers keep blooming. I think it's going to fill the whole containment chamber. Why don't you come and see? It's really beautiful. I'll never get tired of it. Oh, I'd love to, but I can't. I'm busy. Really? What a shame. It's a magnificent tree. Are you okay? You seem to be making a lot of mistakes these days. You seem to be... I've seen you spacing out a lot. Oh, it's nothing. I gotta go back. I've been making a sketch of the tree. I'll show you when it's complete. Yes, I've been better. I've gotten better at managing abnormalities, too. I went to see Grave of Cherry Blossoms. They should have given it a nicer name. As you said, it made me feel weirdly amazing. I never believed plants could give out auras, but I guess it's true. It's a shame I can't see those cherry blossoms with Xavier. Oh, this is like the girl or something. It's a shame I can't see his cherry blossoms with Xavier. I saw his sketch while I was rummaging through the stuff. The actual tree was much more beautiful. It was more magnificent than how he told me. Such a tragedy that he went missing right before seeing that view. If you find any abnormality, if you find it suspicious, please thoroughly investigate them. Yes, I'm fine now. I shook off the feeling. The cherry blossoms all fell after I saw. But I saw the buds coming up again last time I saw it. Then may I see the abnormality? No, it's not a big deal. I just want to see those flowers in full bloom again. Thank you. I think we can probably guess what's happened to Xavier at this point. Same thing as Frisk! We've been reported about an alarming increase of employees who want to see Grave of Cherry Blossoms. The fever is likely caused due to the absence of natural scenery in the facility. However, I don't think we need to make a rule against it. We found out the employee's mental contamination index is decreased by looking at the tree. The reason behind that is not important. It could be Flora give good aura, for all I care. You could actually make that rhyme if you just rewrote that a little bit. What I'm sure about, what's sure though, is the tree captivates employees. And then they don't know what's beneath its roots. Did you realize that cherry blossoms are strikingly crimson, and its unmatched beauty caused by its color? The more blood it has, the more beautiful it is. Employees who are oblivious of it are drawn towards it again and again. Just hush hush for now. It's how things work in this place. So the management doesn't seem to care a whole lot about employees getting eaten by the tree, which is perhaps something to keep track of in these reports. Sorry for the beeping. I'll turn my fan down a little bit. It's blowing in my face too much. Alright, so that's the cherry blossom tree. And I mean, you basically get that from the tips and from working with it, but the story definitely explains it better, I feel, as long as the translation's not terrible. And yeah, Frisk, I mean, I don't know if living in the tree is correct. You may be nourishing the tree with your bright, bright blood. Well, there's that. Let's do the spiders. These ones are kind of long, but we'll get them out. I mean, I think this is an important part of the game. We gotta read these. An abnormality that takes the form of a giant spider, guarding its domain in darkness. Small spiders skitter around the floor, while unidentified wires hang all over the ceiling. It is difficult to see what kind of abnormality it is. The cables, if they are cables, run through the ceiling and containment unit are damaged, denying illumination. Our proud employee Peter, or actually probably Brides or something, went into the abnormalities containment. You know, I never checked out the cocoon thing. I should have tried that. Actually, I could pay 1 lobotomy point to test this out. That's probably worth doing, because I forgot about it. So Peter entered the containment unit. He saw spiderlings scattering away from the light on the floor. As soon as the employee squashed one of the spiderlings, a horrible thing happened. A giant spider with many eyes descended and took the employee in a matter of seconds. The spider gleefully wove the employee into a cocoon. The cocooned employee, hanged in the ceiling of the containment unit, will be a healthy meal for the offspring. Understandably, no employee volunteered to retrieve the body of the cocooned colleague. Most people don't know, but the employees in cocoons are not dead. They slowly die inside. They are kept fresh for later consumption. Spider venom contains a special toxin that permanently damages the heart, eventually leading to death. The employees trapped inside a cocoon have no choice but to wait in the dark for being consumed to be eaten by spiderlings, listening to the slow beating of their own hearts. A minute. got to keep that manager sane. Can't tell them all the details. Thank you for sharing your opinion. However, our own research indicates that your concerns are unlikely. Furthermore, it is proven that the presence of a cocoon in a containment unit increases the energy output. For those reasons, we will not implement a rescue procedure for employees caught by the spider butt, as it's against our interests. However, we will allocate more resources in researching the specimen in the future, per your opinion. Please be advised that your actions are against the code of conduct and are subject to penalties, including dismissal. Lobotomy always values the welfare and voices of its opinion. Head of Welfare Department. We'll meet the Head of Welfare Department one day. It does kind of sound like the management doesn't really care. It's more about the energy than it's about this people living. When I chose the energy, I think I was right, Angela. There's an eerie rumor spreading around employees. It's not surprising for rumors to spread in a company of this caliber, but it's interesting that the number of alleged witnesses seem to multiply. Here are some of the rumors that are circulating. Whispers are heard in the containment unit at night. It was the voice of Alex who went missing a few days ago. They say the voices wept in terror, asking to be saved from the darkness. I don't think there's a better business bureau. This is in the future. It's an anime future where the world's had sort of an apocalypse, crisis, energy apocalypse, something, something, something. There are various wings of something or rather, corporations that control everything. It's, you know, standard sort of future anime thing. I don't think the better business bureau is going to help you. So yeah, before I forget, we're going to spend 1 point to make Sanchez. It's funny, you know, you're supposed to pay a point to customize. What if you just canceled? Is it something different every time? It is! You can't rename them, but you can totally randomize them this way. If you don't like the looks of somebody. There you go, that's perfect. So, Marinelle, congratulations. You're not getting any armor, or weapons, or stats, or a name. We might as well just call you Red Shirt, but you're gonna go play with the spiders. For reasons. Anyway, one more story. Alright. Fragment of the universe. An abnormality that resembles a child's scribble. It didn't have a stable form in the beginning. Its form is still changing, albeit at a very slow pace. After analysis, it has been confirmed that it is made of extraterrestrial material. Its form is surreal, impossible to describe with words. Sometimes it speaks in a mysterious manner. One employee attempted to decipher its speech. See document 1, David Song. But within several days, his sanity became corrupted. He suffered complete psychosis and had to be quarantined. The tentacles. The tentacle that is part of the abnormality. It is quite different from the tentacles we know, but for the sake of convenience, we've decided to call it a tentacle. Freaking anime, Japanese stuff. Pierces through the barrier of reality and brains. Employees impaled by the tentacle suffer permanent brain damage. When the abnormality escapes, which will obviously happen, it emits noises in the corridor. Because it has a certain melody and syllables, we consider it singing. But no employee ever remembers it precisely, and most of the time they are unable to describe it due to their serious brain damage. Inconvenient. Employees who were within 100 meters of it called it a sound which cannot be heard from this world. So we called it an echo from beyond. Alright, Frisk, see you later. Experiment 1. Possibility of communication. We assessed that the abnormality has an intelligence similar or higher than that of humans, and gave it a simple language learning course. As a result, a crude communication by combining words has become possible. The following is part of the communication with the extraterrestrial abnormality. Are your kind all similar in appearance? Negative. Outside. Child C. Picture. Face. Happy. Change form. I don't know how it speaks, so just one word at a time, right? Why did you come here? Our knowledge. Share. Human. Why do you want to share your knowledge with us? Understanding. Knowledge. Moment. No. Universe. Coincidence. Negative. None. Totally truthful monster. The following is an attempt to decipher the communication. 1. It's based its form on a picture drawn by a child. It changes its form because the child's expression while drawing it was happy. The abnormality came here to share their knowledge with us. When we fully understand their knowledge, we will know their ultimate goal. There is no such thing as a coincidence in the universe. But it says coincidence. There is no such thing. I mean, okay, it does. If you read it out, coincidence negative, none. Definitely not a coincidence. It came here on purpose. Fair enough. Experiment 2, laughing. After watching a video on laughing for 30 minutes, the abnormality recognized the idea of laughing. After that, when employees entered the containment facility, it sometimes emitted a strange noise that appeared to be a smile formed on its face. It looked like it was mimicking laughing. Laughter. Experiment 3, symbols. We taught it the meaning of various symbols along with the language. Among them was the heart symbol. This symbol provoked a distinct change from the abnormality, showing it a picture of a heart. This is a symbol of heart. It is thought that emotions come from the heart, and this symbol is used to express positive emotion or a liking towards someone. Omitted. Afterwards, several symbols resembling a heart were sighted on the abnormality's body. It seemed to understand that the symbol could be used to express friendliness towards humans. Combining the results of experiments 1 and 2, it is confirmed that the abnormality is not hostile towards humans and wishes to become friends. Document 1, David's song. David was known within the department for his attempts at communicating with the fragment of the universe. He was an intellectual who enjoyed reading philosophical books and gazing at the stars. He was interested in the fragment since he got the job, and researched its language and behavior purely out of personal interest. And what has become of him? He finally succeeded in entering the domain of the fragment of the universe. But it was obvious that his small brain couldn't withstand it. He was transferred to the psych ward and died of starvation while singing in an unrecognizable song. This is the reason why the abnormality's voice cannot be revealed to the public. Audio recording deleted. Picture of Zelda's enhancement surgery. I mean, it might, it'll change its form to something. Might even sing you a song if you're lucky. Why didn't you tell me from the beginning that they've gone mad because of that abnormality? I do not know if there's any pattern yet, but they all show strange behaviors on the exact same day. Can you imagine 3 patients looking towards the sky with strange expressions, wailing strange noises in the corridor at night while everyone is asleep? I had a difficult time persuading other patients that there must be some practicing for the upcoming Halloween event. Psychiatric treatment or medicine is ineffective. Coming, still coming, is all they say. They also say other words that are not from any language we know. I think sending them to a general hospital was not a wise decision. So it does seem to drive people crazy. Whether it's intentional or not is for you to decide. It does break out and stab people with its tentacle. So, you know, it can't be all that nice. Anyway, that's enough messing around. Let's get to our day. I do like the stories. I feel bad on recording style because they do take up a lot of recording time. But I have to do it because the stories are super important. So there you go. Alright, so we are going to send, first and foremost, an insight with Marinelle. Good luck, Marinelle. This is going to work out just fine. Welcome to Lobotomy Corporation. Have you signed all the important document? Great! I'll have you go in here. You'll be fine. Totally fine. Look at this. It actually might just die to damage. That's not what was supposed to happen. They're just so useless, they died before they could even get cocooned. So I don't even get the energy bonus out of it. Well, come on now. Hold the horses. I don't accept it. Let's try this again. Marinelle, I think even... Okay, I'm gonna go with Instinct because you'll take less damage. And because you have level 1 Prudence, you'll still get cocooned. So it should be fine. I wasn't expecting them to die so quickly, basically. They're supposed to survive. Once the work is complete, something should happen. Marinelle did not succeed in leaving the containment unit without squashing any spiders. There you go. Marinelle is dead. Although not actually dead, just cocooned, but no one will take them out. Sorry, Marinelle. Sorry, not sorry. Alright, Jelka, welcome to the A-Team. Why don't you go see what happened to Marinelle? Just, you find out what's going on in there, you know. But we should get more energy now. I mean, I don't know. I've never tested this. This seems like a good idea. So I wonder how it keeps track of it. Like, I think the energy output was the same. It was 14 before we got her in there. And it's still 14. I wonder if the main thing is it like, maybe the mechanic is like, the more cocoons, the more E-boxes, or the more percentage success rate you have. Like, maybe it goes from high to very high kind of thing. Or maybe one is not enough. Or, maybe you just get them passively. Spider Bud Cocoon produces E-boxes. I mean, I don't want to wait around too long. If I see this go up on its own, that'd be kind of neat. I have a feeling all it is probably a higher success rate, which means you tend to get a better score, which means more E-boxes. I don't really know. I'm just, because it's all just for science. Science is very important in Lobotomy Corporation. You got to understand things. But I mean, for a couple lobotomy points, you could just make a couple no-name guys and just get them cocooned and see if that helps. I don't know. It's probably not a great use of your lobotomy points, but it's kind of interesting. Alright, so, what are we really going to focus on today? Pixel. I think I want more temperance up on a lot of people. Like, the more people who can get their temperance up a little bit higher, the better. Maybe some baseline HP SP. I think most of the people down here are getting decent stats. I'd like to get Jelka to level 4 HP. And then maybe we'll start working on some SP for people. Which is... Actually, the tree is good for insight. And the bird is pretty good for insight. So we got a couple options. The Fragment of the Universe, not so well. Mostly attachment. Alright. We'll send Pixel in. That'll set off another meltdown. The first meltdown of the day. And it's the Space Spider. So seeing as Jelka is the only one with level 2 Temperance, we'll have him go in there. He actually should have the best success rate, interestingly enough. So yeah, I think Jelka's going to work on this guy for a little while, just because he's got the right tier of stat. And because it's fully researched, it should be fairly safe. Also, he takes less damage from black, which means he's a bit safer. Although we don't have to worry about damage while working generally, because we've got a fair bit of HP SP now. So that was fine. We've got a Green Dawn, so we've got a new color of Ordeal that we've never seen. I got one extra energy box. Or you get. Let me, like, did I get more than what it says here? I don't know, I just wasn't paying enough attention. But it says 10. Or let's see what we get. So I got 61. Yeah, okay, I saw it there. Yeah, so 61 plus 13 is 74, but we got an extra plus 1. So that's simple enough then. So I guess for... I wonder what the limit would be, but you could throw a bunch of dead employees in there. You could kill a bunch of employees. And maybe get... You know, if you're getting 12s to 14s, kind of high level output, you'd actually be getting plus 5 on that or something. That'd be a... Like, it's not actually very useful, but it's kind of neat to know. Like, that's cool. It wouldn't change much of how we play, but it's kind of a neat little idea. Alright, let's try getting Pixel some sanity. We're going to want to train Pixel in some Fortitude soon, because he's probably the weakest HP we've got. And we'll do the spiders one more time here. So I'm kind of avoiding the tree just because I don't like working with the thing it does. Seeking new employees with an exciting interest in slowly dying. Yeah, I mean, you probably wouldn't get that many applications if you tell them all about that. Okay, so it's a new ordeal as far as you guys know that you've never seen before. So I'm going to group everybody up and we'll test out how strong they are. We've so far seen the Crimson Ordeal, the Crimson Dawn, which was clowns that try to break monsters out. They're the most... Like, they don't really deal damage to your employees, but the chance of breaking things out is probably the dangerous Dawn item. We saw the Orange Ordeal, or Amber Ordeal, which was the worms, and they are tough if you don't have any HP, or they kind of gang up on you. They're kind of like a swarm enemy. And now we're going to see Green, which will be something new. And while we're doing that, we'll have Pixel again. Pixel's the newbie. He can just train a little bit longer. He doesn't have as much HP, so I'm a little bit worried about him. Alright, the Dawn of Green Doubt. I don't have enough time to read all that, so, you know. So, what do we get? 2 creatures have appeared. They are, in fact, robots. Are they friendly robots? Of course not. Alright, here we go. Let's see how we do. So this is one of our janitors. The janitors have guns and they're fighting now. So I think that was the upgrade we gave them. They don't panic and run away as much. They actually stand and fight. To be honest, it might have been better if they ran away, because they wouldn't die as often, and it might help your buffs. I wonder in the long run if you can skip that upgrade, if it's actually better, because then if they just always run away, they probably survive a lot better than when they try to fight. Anyway, good luck, team. Don't mind all the piercing spear damage from this thing. It's tougher than the worms, but there's only one, right? Alright, good job. So let's heal up a little bit and then we'll go kill the other one. Everybody get in there. We'll get at least 1 tick of healing. We'll get 2 ticks of healing because I'm generous. I'm a generous manager. There, 2 ticks of healing. Now we'll go finish off this guy. So yeah, the Green Dawn is probably the most dangerous to your employees, although the Amber Dawn is just, they swarm you more, but these guys I think deal more damage per hit than the little worm guys. But honestly, once you start getting decent equipment, they won't, none of the Dawns will be very dangerous. So they're only dangerous right now because we've got low stats, relatively low stats, and weak armor. We'll definitely get to the point where those guys are trivial. Alright, so now let's just worry about some energy and some stat farming a little bit. Not that I want to farm a ton of stats, but, you know, a little bit. So now that pretty much everyone's got level 4 HP here, we could send some people like Grotham down to work on his stats. And actually, everyone's got 3 sanity up here. That's pretty good. I'll try to work with the dog, although we've not always been terribly successful on Paday. I don't like Paday because if you don't get a good, he tends to get mad and break out kind of easily. Whereas, like, it seems like it's, you know, spiders will never break out. The bird doesn't really care how good you do for the most part, unless you do bad. Like, as long as you're neutral, you're okay. That's a full SP heal, or some SP healing for people because of a perfect there, which is kind of a nice little buff. We'll do 1 more repression work there for Pixel. Got ourselves a meltdown. Everyone's got level 3 sanity. Start working towards level 4 a little bit more. Okay, can go that way. We'll get rides closer to level 4. This team is going to get everybody to level 4 fairly soon, which is pretty awesome, actually. Alright, the bird's out. We're just going to have you stay there and let the bird smack you for a bit, because it'll probably get it to go home the quickest. You're going to go back into the chamber here. Nothing else is melting down. Bird isn't really hurting too much. It doesn't do that much damage as long as you don't attack it. So once you've got like Teth armor, the bird I don't think will kill you very. I don't think it can peck you to death. So the tick went. The counter went down here. We kind of failed that one. Whoever that was. That was Rides only getting a neutral. Come on, Rides. Let's send one of the control team all the way down here. Let's send Grotham. He's probably the next person to join the A team. Dogs still at 2. We're gonna get another meltdown here any second. I don't know. I don't want to spend too much time, but you know how it is. It's nice to get some stats. I'm a sucker for a little bit of grinding, so we can ignore that. We could ignore that, but let's. Your wife divorced you. You're having a bad day. You didn't have a good time with the alien spider tentacle monster? I guess I can't blame you too much. We're definitely not going to try to get to level 5 stats off of Teth tier abnormalities. I think going for level 4 stats is already being pretty aggressive with our grinding. It's mostly the level 3s I'm trying to get to right now. Alright, we got enough energy again. I'll probably do like one more meltdown and then we'll call it a day. Not even the tentacles can make you feel better. Alright, this is our last meltdown. Once we clear this and rack up a few more points, we'll get out of here. Grotham again. Rides, you can go hide in that awesome room for a second. That'll make you feel better, I'm sure. We did not lose a point on the puppy, so it doesn't really matter who we send in. Pixel, good luck. Alright, don't forget to get out of this room, though. This is something, you know, take yourself a BlueAnkylo point when I finally forget someone in there, and then when everything escapes, I'm like, what the heck is going on? You can be like, Blue, you should never have left them in there. You should just not send anyone, except that you lose 10 energy, and not risk losing your entire run. Alright, so we're not going to fill this bar up. I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 or so, and then that'll be that. Starting to send some of the control team down to some of the lower level abnormalities, just because they can gain some more stats, basically. And insight. We've actually done a pretty good job on keeping our sanity up. Looks like Jelka has the lowest max sanity, so I'll send him up to the bird to practice a little bit. And I think that'll be the end of the day, once those guys are done. Nothing's stopping you for going on, like the truth is, if you wanted to, you could keep grinding almost indefinitely in the early game here. You could get everyone up to probably max level stats, around 100 and everything. And it would take a while, no doubt, but you could get people up to 60, 70, 80. Not too difficult, and higher if you really want. I think if you really wanted to min-max, you would also be matching up employees that don't have the ego gift. So like, if you wanted to, you could try to get the Somewhere Spear brooch for everybody, right? Everyone would have that brooch, and then everybody can have some cool glasses, and then everybody can have a cool cherry blossom, right? Like, that would take a long time, and I don't recommend it. But you know, you could grind out those if you cared. You can see here, I'm just gonna actually we'll end the day, and when we get back to base, I'll see who's got gifts, because it'll be a little bit easier there chasing them down. But I am curious, but it's also a lot of work to hunt everybody down, and I don't like min-maxing quite to that level. So we got a B, but also 6 lobotomy points, so that's great. And we did complete the quest. I wasn't even trying. I totally forgot about it. This was do a job with a poor result. I should have made sure I did that, but obviously we did it accidentally, so that's fine. We got some more stats. It's hard to go over these every single episode, but you can see Jelka, for instance, got a ton of HP. We did manage to train that up with the spiders quite efficiently. Most people are getting decent all-around stats, like I've been asking, except for Justice. If anything, we should really try to make... If I could, which I can't, we should try to make sure the next Abnormality is something that can train Justice easily, because we're starting to lag behind in Justice, and I don't really have anything good for training, and it's too expensive to buy with Lobotomy points. Now that you've left, now that the day is over, you're single and ready to mingle. Alright. So, new Abnormality Day. Her unbearable sorrow grew long, mournful hair. I think we saw this... Well, we didn't see it. You know what I mean. We saw this box earlier. We haven't selected it yet. You've been pressing it for numerous times, and you still have something you want to know about it. So, I have never taken this one, because there are a few that I know about from before I started playing from other... I've watched a few other people play the Let's Play stream a little bit, so I know a few things about the game before I started playing, and I've done my own experimentation. I can tell you straight up that this is one you should skip. I don't want to spoil the fun, and I'm sure some of you guys watching along in the future Tuberland are going to be mad, but you shouldn't pick this one. If you see that, the pressing numerous times thing, just leave it alone. But the curse continues, never removed. Okay, that's... Unfortunately, none of these are... No, this will actually train our Justice. I remember this one. Slowly, but this will allow us to train our Justice stat. This one, what does this one do? This is not Justice. This one does, if I remember correctly, this is Temperance or Instinct, I believe. But specifically, nothing. There's so few that are Justice. The third one sounds like your ex-wife. The curse continues. Never remembered. Never removed. Yeah, this one's pretty cool. I like this one, actually. I think we'll go with it. I was hoping for a higher ranked Abnormality. I wanted to get something like level 3 or higher. Well, level 3 specifically. But I don't think this one is, and even if it was, it wouldn't help. And this is, I'm pretty sure, Teth, and I'm pretty sure that this is Teth as well. So, this is okay. You could certainly take the long hair one. That's fine. But if I remember correctly, this is best for like instinct and temperance training, which we are already doing well on. So for metagaming, we probably want to pick something with a different stat. Although I don't actually remember, like, if you're truly metagaming, you know what armors and weapons they drop, and you might be like, but Blue, this one gives you an awesome weapon. I don't even know. Maybe it does. I don't know. I have that much. I am not nowhere near that good of a player. So we'll go with the curse. And you'll see that one soon enough. Is anybody there? Can you read me? Is anybody there? You can call me B. I'm an insider who knows a lot about the company. Please understand that I cannot reveal my identity. I will tell you the truth that the company wants to hide. Why do you think you're hired by the company? Let me rephrase my question. Are you satisfied with your job? Honestly, I think I'm doing fine. I'm satisfied. Really? Well, I can't judge whether you're telling the truth. You're a manager, but you don't actually know very much about the company. Am I wrong? I will make it as short as I can. Contacting someone for a long period is dangerous in any case. And then he just cuts out. I was hired to die. I mean, I'm pretty sure the manager was hired to die just as much as the employees were hired to die. So, like, fair is fair. So, this is our first choice for unlocks. We can go training team or security team. The only difference, primarily, would be the upgrades you can unlock first, because you'll get them both eventually. I'm trying to remember. I think the security team primarily upgrades the regenerators. So this makes the regenerators heal you more or quicker. Or I think there might even be one that's really cool where it's like... If you've noticed, if an abnormality is inside the regenerator room, it stops working. So like we saw a little bird, punishing bird that is, move into the control team's regenerator and stab people. If you're playing really close attention, you'd notice that people were not healing while that happened. I'm pretty sure there's an upgrade in here that gives you half speed healing while there's monsters in those regenerators. So it gives you a really nice place to tank it out and do a difficult fight where you can still heal up a little bit. So it's cool, but the training team, if I remember correctly, gives us better stats for our characters, like growing our stats faster, I think leveling up faster. I forget the details, but if I remember correctly, training team is the way to go, and security is nice, but this is the first pick you should probably go for. So anyway, we'll go say hello to Hod. Also, Hod's kind of nice, and security guy, he's kind of lazy. He's a dummy. So, hello, I'm in charge of the training team. Would you like to unlock the team now? As well. Also, for no other reason, I picked training team the first time I played, so it makes sense for me to pick training team. Without any foreknowledge at all, that's the one I picked first, so there you go. Alright, there's our next imprint. So, because we completed all of Yesod's quests, it sort of tells you how a suppression will work for him. I didn't know what this meant for ages, because it doesn't tell you for ages. But essentially, the next level of his quests will not unlock until we finish Malkuth level 4. This is level 3, which we can't do until day 19. So, eventually, Malkuth level 3 and then 4, as well as Netzach 3, Tipperith 3, which is actually down here. It's not even related. So, we can't do this suppression until much, much later. So we can kind of forget about Yesod for now, focus on getting to that when we can, and seeing what we can see from here. The quests are kind of interrelated. Just do them all, obviously, but it's nice. So we've got ourselves another Teth class. We're just getting all Teth all day. It loathes itself, howling in despair. It tries to lift the cursed in vain. Beauty was once a fair lady with charming green eyes. One day this poor lady learns of a job opening at the manor of the Count. We do have some lobotomy points. So I'm gonna send... I'm actually just gonna send, you know, the A team for now. Bella and Blue, because we've got the most stats. To be honest, this isn't even gonna be hard to work on. We're pretty much totally geared up safely for pretty much any Teth in the game. It will be different once we see some He, or eventually Wa tier, if you remember the ranks. I'll just them up again. So Zayn, safe, barely kills anybody, sometimes are helpful. Teth, a little bit dangerous, they can certainly kill you, but they are often not too hard to deal with. Heh, level 3, definitely more dangerous and can definitely kill a lot of, or a few people, let's say. Not impossible to handle, but this is where Heh level is where things start to get a little scary. Wa is definitely problems, and Aleph is a pile of corpses, which is definitely the right way to think about it. So I was hoping to see some Hes by now. For one, better armor, better weapons, better stats, and more interesting for the video. But we've only got up to Teth. Was could also start showing up now, and that could be very bad depending on what we get, because there are some Was that we just could not handle right now. And if we find an Aleph, there's no way we can handle it. So that's just kind of how that works. Just while we're looking at this thing, I never really explained it. Red damage, HP damage. White damage, SP damage. Black damage, HP and SP at the same time, but not resisted by red or white armor. So black armor protects only black damage, red armor protects only red damage, even though they both will do red damage in the end. Pale damage is a percentage, and only pale armor will protect against it. It's also the rarest damage type. It's very rare to get a weapon that deals it or an abnormality that deals it, and very few armors defend against it. It is often kind of the ultimate attack type, a lot of the times. Usually red and white are common, black is uncommon, and black pale is rare. It's kind of a way to look at it. Is there anything else I should show off while we're here? It's actually a pretty good tutorial in here. Like, I haven't really read through it all with you guys, but if you're playing along and you're just still confused, I recommend spending a few minutes just reading through this stuff. It actually covers really well that because the game is kind of confusing at first, as a lot of base managers are, but this thing does like a really good job of explaining how to play the game. Like, this part is done really well. Like, 100%, you know, thumbs up for this area being useful for new players. And we'll go back to here later on, because there's still mechanics that aren't unlocked yet, that will unlock you know, as we complete the game further. So anyway, it's pretty cool. All right, for those of you future tubers, we're gonna end the episode here, and I'm gonna do a little bit of you know, management between episodes, and then when you come back, we will do some more lobotomizing, no doubt. Thanks for watching. I hope you have enjoyed, and say hello to the present tubers.